kind of place that gives opportunity to everyone. And speaking of opportunities, in the UAE, we've seen it with Kevin O'Leary, the Shark Tank USA guy, with Pavel Durov, the Telegram founder. But I never thought that I would see it in Saudi Arabia. And maybe this is my own bias because I just did not think that they would convert, but they did.
We can never think of getting the citizenship.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing. To be honest, I'll give you a very weird example. You see Messi being draped into that the cultural robe when he was lifting the World Cup. It's a sign of royalty. It's a sign of respect from the Arab countries. If you get that thing to wear, I don't know what's it called, if you have any idea. It was a black robe which he was adorned with, and it had a golden lining. It's a cultural thing that they wear, but royalty wears it. Likewise, the citizenship goes to people who have made a very, very big difference. And Uber CEO, I don't think we need to say anything. He founded Uber.
Which purchased Kareem.
Yeah. And Rexley Global is one of the most biggest ambitious ambitious project as part of Saudi Vision 2030. So it shows that they are starting to move towards that part. Because UAE does give citizenship to exceptional people. Then they have a lower category, which is golden visas for 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, for creators, for journalists, for this, that, blah, blah. They have whole categories where they give you 10 years to live in their country. So I think it's such a good sign. A lot of people will criticize it that, whoa, why them and why not the people who've spent 20 years there? It's just about showing the world that we are open. We are welcoming you with our open arms.
But you have to be ambitious. You can't. I think if Ronaldo converts,
most probably
you'll definitely get it. But the reason why I'm bringing up them converting is because to get the Saudi citizenship, you have to be a part of Islam. You have to be a Muslim. And for the people who argued and said that this is not true, do keep in mind that Arab News, it's owned by SRMG, and it's one of the largest national news agencies in Saudi Arabia. So
they
if
wouldn't
it's coming
just
from
say
them,
anything.
exactly. So if it's coming from them, then it is completely true. But I just think it's great to see like Saudi's changing. It is changing. I think it's changing.
We've seen it since 2015, since Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, the man, the myth, the legend, as you call it. He came, he changed literally everything, the face of Saudi Arabia, how they present themselves to the world.
Rent freezes.
Yeah, and rent freezes in Riyadh. That's one of the stories that we are going to do, that it's only in Riyadh, it's not anywhere else. So it's very interesting how Saudi Arabia is shaping and Saudi Vision 2030 is shaping.
It is, but you know what?
And there's a lot of Saudi companies here. STC is here at Expand North.
Really?
Yeah, STC is here.
That's
There's
exciting.
2-3 more there. They have a whole thing, but in GITEX they have a whole pavilion. So it's going to be all Saudi companies there. So it shows, sometimes people say, oh, Saudis don't come to UAE and UAE people don't come to Saudi. It shows that when it comes to these global events, they're always there.
No, they're definitely here. And I think, what's interesting is, Arab people, they have this kind of hospitality never seen before. To the point that, they'll give you citizenship in the best way possible. And it's a good citizenship to have. They always say that the UAE is one of the best passports. But can we say that Western countries always reciprocate your hospitality? No, we cannot. And I think that recently we've seen that because of how, obviously, last week you guys heard of the big news of how the U.S. has finally approved the shipment of some NVIDIA chips, basically the first batch to the UAE. Now, yes, this is exciting news. It's amazing news, but that shipment is actually only for American companies that are operating in the UAE, and that the UAE's leading artificial intelligence company, quite literally the best artificial intelligence company in the UAE, did not receive access to these exports.
That's G42.
And it's crazy because when the deal was signed around when Donald Trump came to the UAE, Saudi, and Qatar in May, the entire deal was set up on the basis that the U.S. would export, I believe, 500,000 NVIDIA chips.
Per year.
But what was unfair about that is that actually only 20%, I think 100,000 would actually go to the UAE. The rest, the 400,000, that would go to American companies. And the fact that
operating from the UAE.
It's crazy. And those American companies are going to receive the first batch. And I think that the G42 has responded very gracefully in a semaphore exclusive.
I have a very interesting story. Yesterday I was in the media center, it's right there. I went for water, and one of the guys looked at the mic and he was like, "Oh, I follow Smashi." I was like, "Oh, yeah, thank you." All the pleasantries, and he was like, "I have a very interesting guest for you." And I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "He's the head of NVIDIA killer chips." And I was like, "NVIDIA killer chips?" He's like, "Yeah, come, I'll make you meet it." I met Keldman. He's the CEO and founder of Cerebrus Systems. So
Yeah.
I have heard of Cerebrus Systems somewhere. I've read it that they got $1 billion and all that. But oh, an aeroplane. Sorry.
Sorry
But yeah,
about that, guys.
it's happening. It's at Dubai Harbor. The thing was that I met that guy and I didn't know what they were doing, and he pulled up a chip this big, I think 2 meter by 2 meter chip, and he was
Why?
like, "This is what I've built, and this is an NVIDIA killer." And I was like, I don't get the idea. How can you kill NVIDIA? It's the best chip maker. Everyone is dying to get NVIDIA chips. And he's like, I just got $1 billion. 2 months ago, I got $2 billion. I've raised $5 billion just to make this inferencing chip. And he's like, I have it. People are buying it. I've recently set up my offices in UAE. My people are working here.
Can you say his name again,
I
Magic?
completely forgot his name, but Keldman was his second name. It's in our
Okay.
newsletter if you want to read what he said. But very first time I was meeting a person who owns $1 billion company. His company is valued at now $8 billion, according to him. That is what
Yeah.
I had a chat with him about.
Andrew Feldman.
Andrew Feldman. And he said a very interesting thing. And I asked him, I was like, you're into AI. Everyone is talking about the AI bubble, that it is going to burst. It's just some hyped up thing that no one will care about after 4 years or 5 years. He's like, no, it is not. And he explained it very nicely. You can go to our newsletter and see it, what he said. If you haven't, just go to our stories. I put that part specifically where he explains how AI is not a bubble. The funny thing was, I gave him an example. I was like, oh, everyone says Dubai property is a bubble and AI is a bubble. And he's like, I don't know anything about Dubai property. And I was like, no.
But he
I'm
knows how
just
to
saying.
kill NVIDIA.
Yeah,
He
but-
knows how to kill NVIDIA.
So it's so imagine the scale of this event, that such big people were just raising $1 billion a week over week.
So casually.
Yeah, they're here and they're participating in this event, and they're looking at the startups to see where they can invest next, because obviously that company is not going to be in inferencing chips for all their life.
Yeah.
Whatever revenue, whatever profits they make, they are going to reinvest it in some kind of other startup.
But imagine
Yeah.
you said something really interesting. You mentioned how this guy is like making a chip that's going to kill NVIDIA.
Yeah.
What G42 basically told Semaphore in the exclusive
Yeah.
was that although they were excluded and they're not receiving the exports
Yeah.
of the first batch of NVIDIA chips to the UAE, they have safeguards in place. Now, when they said they have safeguards, gold
100%,
safeguards,
yeah.
they were very vague. They didn't say what kind of safeguards they were, but that they're going to keep going on with their AI aims.
Yeah.
And now that you mentioned this guy, Andrew,
Make sure, yeah.
and his NVIDIA killer, you know,
Yeah.
these are the kind of safeguards that they have.
Yeah.
I think like it's all coming together.
They have to understand, the Americans, the Westerns, that even if they don't send NVIDIA chips, there's 100 other people who are making chips. And if, for example, if you use H200s, the second best ones, not the best ones, H400 are the more powerful NVIDIA
Yeah.
chips, you have to use two H2s instead
Yeah.
of one H400, right? People are getting that compute power in those chips. Cerberus system, I asked him how much it is. He's like, just compare it to H100s. So he's nearly there. After a year with technology advancing and them getting money to make their chips better, he will reach H2 and H400 level. Recently we saw OpenAI did not invest billions of dollars in NVIDIA. They already have a partnership with them, but they said we are going to partner with AMD. AMD is again a chip maker. So every chip maker in the market is in play right now.
Yeah.
And blocking the NVIDIA chips for UAE or for G42 or for anyone, there's 100 other options.
That is
Everyone
so true.
is trying to
and we saw
create
that with
something.
DeepSeek. We saw
Yeah.
that with DeepSeek. Out of nowhere, you know, you have this app that just comes, overtakes ChatGPT
Yeah.
on the App Store, and then we find out that they used, I believe, the H100 NVIDIA,
Yeah.
not NVIDIA chips, but they used H100 chips. So I think that that's very telling. But on that note of hospitality, Majid, the reason why I specifically mentioned it is because you see with Donald Trump, he's being gifted jets by the Qataris. You know, he's being given over $1 trillion in deals, you know, in total from the UAE, from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, and he does not reciprocate that. But
Yeah.
and you know why it makes me so angry? Because it's like we're seeing that the entire talent pool sometimes that we have in the Middle East goes to America. And that really bothers me. And I think that we saw that with the rise of Kalshi.
Yeah.
So Kalshi, it's one of the largest prediction markets in the world. It's even challenging Poly Market. Basically, you get to bet on real life events. Now, some people call it, I believe, digital gambling. And Kalshi is by a Lebanese entrepreneur known as Tariq Mansour.
Yes.
He co-founded it with this Brazilian girl. I'm sorry, I forgot her name, but it did really great. The New York Times basically reported that they raised $300 million. They're now valued at $5 billion. And actually, another reason for the fact that they got famous is during Donald Trump's election.
Nice.
They got famous during Donald Trump's election. They even have Donald Trump's son as an advisor in the company. And I remember asking myself, Majid, it's something that honestly bothered me. I was like, why is Tariq Mansour, he's doing great, obviously. Why is he building this for America? Build this in Lebanon. But then my Lebanese friend said something to me that made complete sense. She was like, girl, do you think our government will fund him?
Yeah.
He's not going to get the funding that he needs. So it's like, it's that back and forth point. It's that disappointment that I'm feeling, but
Yeah.
I can't entirely blame them.
No, but it's changing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to the conversations that you will also have today, everyone you'll talk
Yeah.
to, every person has this idea that this is the place to be right now. Not UAE, now Saudi Arabia, but the whole MENA region, the whole Middle East, and 3 power players, Saudi
Because
Arabia,
you
UAE.
can get that funding.
Yeah. Imagine at an event, people are talking about another event. They're already planning for Leap, which is in Saudi Arabia. I got like 4 or 5. I was talking to one person outside when I was switching the halls from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. There was a guy sitting there. I found him very interesting. He was just sitting in a corner smoking. I went and I said hello. And I looked at his product and he said, I sell water dispensers. And I was like, okay, water dispenser. He's like, yeah, I use
that.
AI and IoT, Internet of Things, in my water dispensers. I was like, how does that work? And he's like, water dispensers, people use them a lot, but sometimes the water is too cold, sometimes the water is too hot. It starts like gearing up, and it basically takes your whole day routine,
Yeah.
and then it keeps the water and it takes the temperature in. He said he just signed a deal with NEOM. So in NEOM, all the
NEOM?
administrative, yeah.
Saudi
And
Arabia's
imagine
big
he was just
project.
sitting in a corner smoking in between
Crazy.
hall 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Aqua.io was the company. I forgot his name. I have the picture in my car. But it's such an interesting person. And I asked him, I was like, why are you here? He's like, I just came here for like 2-3 hours. I am here for a family office meeting. So, and then he gave me a very nice insight. He said, family offices are investing more into things. And I don't go to these events a lot because the investment level is there, but I need bigger investments. These investment places, Jitex, Northstar especially, Jitex is still for millions and millions.
Yeah.
It's like Northstar is very good for small investments, like 500,000 for this startup, 500 for another one. So people,
500,000 is small.
It's
Okay.
like $500,000. For him, he's like, if someone invests in startup, he brings in 2 million and then he distributes it into 4 startups. I'm looking at a bigger investment. And I asked him, where did you start? He's like, I started in Taiwan. He's American. He started in Taiwan,
Wow.
then went to Singapore to set up an office, then went to India and set up an office. Then he made his headquarters in Saudi Arabia
Does
now.
that not remind you of Tariq Amin?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia's new
And
artificial intelligence
finally,
company.
he's set up in now Saudi Arabia, and that is, he's like, I put up my headquarters, and the first thing I got was a NEOM contract. All the administrative buildings and
Wow.
operational buildings, they'll have my water coolers, the water dispensers. I was like, good luck to you.
You know what, Majid? This is interesting because I think sometimes with these like new companies, and I think that this is something that can discourage a lot of founders.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, oh my God, okay, if I make a water dispenser like this guy, why can't they just go choose Siemens or
Yeah.
Philips? Like these companies are global, big companies. But then you have, people like the Saudi Arabians who are building these giga projects worth, $500 billion that want new products to actually make the project stand out. Because they want a niche product, a niche supplier, they will come to you and you will make money. So I think for me, you telling me this in a way, like, I feel hopeful because
Yeah.
sometimes when you take a look at these global competitors, you really think like, who's going to buy this from me? Like,
No,
honestly.
but a lot of people are investing in newer. Even if you're like, yesterday, His Excellency Umar Sultan Al Ulama was there. He had a long talk. He talked for nearly 15 minutes. Very interesting talk. He was joking with the Reuters head Yasser Khan for Middle East. Very interesting chat. I loved how casual he was talking to him. He came on the stage and the very first thing he said was, "We have two things in common, you and me, Yasser. We both have grey hair and we both wear glasses." And that is how he started a conversation. So imagine the niceness of the minister. He's the first ever AI minister in the world.
Yeah, he is.
And he told a very interesting thing that there's a whole AI seal system. There was the news, we shared the news that there is an AI seal, but he explained the categories. He's like, there is a D category where if only your team works here and you're not based here, you get a D category in AI company seal, and people can talk to you, but they'll know that this is a certified AI company. Then there's C. C is you have a small regional headquarter. B is when you started from here, you have a headquarters here, but you're not global, you're only working here. And then there's the F class, where you're a global product maker, global whatever maker, and you started from here, your team is majority here. And he's like, if you go for a government contract,
The plane again. Sorry.
planes. But he said if you have an S class seal for AI company, every government project will take you first. So he's like, we created a system where all the AI companies, one, they will have a seal and they'll be certified that they are using AI somehow. They're not just putting AI for the sake of it. And second thing, the government contracts have become easier. If a D company or a C company or a B company applies and an S company applies, the government doesn't have to even think twice. They'll be like S. So everyone will start coming here, investing here, hiring team here.
Yeah.
It's such a nice idea
But
how
you
they're
know what,
doing things.
Majid, though? This AI seal, AI bubble, just on the topic of that, it's scary because like you had a company like Builder AI that was telling people, you know, we're using artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, they were coders in India, or like some people say in Karama. So it's kind of scary when you look at that.
I think that is where this AI seal comes in, because when you go as a company, if I go to the Dubai Cybersecurity Council or the Dubai Digital Foundation, all these places which work for AI, I go to them and I say, oh, I want that seal. They will do a thorough check of everything. And when they do that, if I'm a fraud, I will 100% be caught. And that's the good part, that they're making quality over quantity. Even yesterday he said, I don't care about the robots jumping, dancing, the dog robots that are here and there. He's like, if I think AI is useful, it's only useful when you use it and you don't know it's AI. So that's a very nice thing that he said, and that the example that he gave was Dubai airport. You walk through so many immigration counters and blah blah on other airports. In Dubai, you just go scan your passport, look in the camera, and you pass through immigration. That is what they're trying to do, and it's a very nice thing.
But I think, you know what it also is, Majid, like with what they're trying to do, you know, that the Arabs, you know, people in the Gulf, the Khalijis, they're able to do all of this because of the vast wealth, the sovereign wealth that they've built. And we see that in Qatar Investment Authority, Mubadala, ADIA, which brings me to my point of, you know, I hope that, you know, people like Tariq Mansour, the founder of Kalshi, you know, the company has now expanded from the US to 140 countries in the world. I hope that, you know, people like him who are Arab, who are from our region, who's, you know, Lebanese, can actually do what all of these Western CEOs have done, with what we've seen with Travis Kalanick, with the Red Sea Global CEO, you know, with what we've seen with Ari Emanuel, him launching this new holding company called Mari for hosting live events and getting investment from IMI, the media company based in Abu Dhabi, and from Qatar Investment Authority. Look at how all these dudes, all from the West, have noticed the vast wealth that is here and have come and gotten it. So I hope that people like Tariq Mansour notice that same thing and come and get that funding from the Gulf and use it to actually improve our region. I think that's what's exciting me. In the past, it was a thing of, you know, we spoke about this before. You have to go to Australia, Canada, America, get the passports, you know, then build the that dream company, that dream life. But now that dream life is here, and I hope that
the Middle Eastern
I
dream.
hope that the Arabs wake up to it and come back home and bring the wealth pool here, which brings us to the end of the show. This is a Smashi Business show, a Smashi Business production under the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, and we'll see you live again from North Star Day 3. Today we're doing a takeover at Jitex also, so you'll see what's happening. Jitex is the place where everyone puts up a big stand. So you'll see Eon, G42, G42, all the companies under G42 are exhibiting there. One of our very good colleagues, Parth, is there, and he'll show you around. We are here. Send us your messages, feedback if you want anything. Contact us, come visit us at the booth. We're more than ready to welcome you all. Have a great day and we'll see you tomorrow.